What's up guys? In today's video we're going to get started with Gatsby JS and just spend a little time setting up the project, just creating a new Gatsby JS project, kind of taking a look at what the structure looks like when you just start from a blank project, deleting all of the code that they already have in there, and I also want to get Sass installed if we have some time. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. Alright, so I've got our designs open here along with the Gatsby JS website, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of get the project set up a little bit. So we're not really going to do any development and actually code all of this out just yet, but we are going to do a little bit of preparation and just kind of getting this project set up and ready to go, just so we can take this whole series or whatever you want to call it. We can just take it bite by bite and not just jump into the deep end and get too deep and get lost. All right, so let's go ahead, and the first thing we need to do is start our Gatsby project. So that's really easy. I'll just open up the terminal here, cd into my desktop, and then all we're gonna write is Gatsby new photographer. So we're just giving the project name, so I'm going to say photographer portfolio. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and run that. I'll expand that out a little bit. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and cd on in there, and I'm just going to open this up in Atom, and then we can go ahead and close out the terminal. So here's the project in Atom, and I actually have a, what is it called? A plugin on here, I guess. Is it even a plugin? Anyways, I've installed my own terminal on here, which is pretty neat. Oh, it's a package, that's right. So I have that in here. So what we can go ahead and do is start up the server right here. So let's just write Gatsby develop. Okay. Give that a moment to run, and then we should have our own local development build ready to take a look at. Awesome. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's ready, and it's sitting on localhost port 8000. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump over to my browser and type that on in, localhost port 8000. Load that on up, and this is our Gatsby site. So this is just what you get when you come to Gatsby and you first load up your website, or install a site, I should say. Come on, let's see if there's a 404. Yep, there we go. We got our own 404 page right there. But let's go ahead and kind of just take a look at what we got going on in the code. I'll hide this little terminal for now. So within our source right here, we have some components, some images, and some pages. So you can see the index page, page 2, and that 404 page that we just took a look at. And then up here you can see some components. So the first one I want to point out is layout. So this layout is basically the layout for every page in the website. So every page that you have is going to utilize this layout. So this is the page. We're importing React, link, importing the layout, importing images, and then importing the SEO component. Again, let's go back to the layout here. You'll see what this looks like. We have the header up here, and this is really going to be using this right here. So if we look at layout.js, you'll see import header. So that is this header right here. So this is what we're importing into the head. First thing here. All of this. And then the site title is going to be populated right here, as well as right here. And let's see what else we've got. Header, prop types, site title equals prop type string. Default prop site title, okay. Let's go ahead and see what else we have in that layout real quick. Beneath there we have a div with the margin and max width of 960, padding, padding top, and then we have our main with their children, and then we finally have our footer. So let's kind of look at the website and break that down a little bit. So we've got our header up here, Gatsby default starter, and so that's probably being populated from our Gatsby-config.js. So if you look, our title right here, Gatsby default starter, let's just go ahead and change that to photographer portfolio. Save that and come back here and you'll see it's updated right up at the top there. And then we have our section. So this is the area where we have that max width of 960 pixels. And you can watch that as we get here and it shrinks down. And then we finally have a footer right here, which consists of this information. So let's jump back over to layout. So you can see our footer right here. So the footer is really just the, copyright, new date, get full year, built with, and if you take a look, built with Gatsby. And this is what we're loading over here. So you could say, I don't know, fun. Come back here, and now this is updated. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other components real quick. We took a brief look at header here. There's not too much to get into. So we have the site title. We've already talked about that. We just changed that in our Gatsby-config.js file. I'm good with that. Let's go ahead and go over to our SEO. So here we have our SEO.js, and that's going to be using Helmet, the React Helmet. And then you're setting up basically your meta tags here. So this is really convenient. It kind of helps get some of the bases done already. So it's going to set up our description, OG title, OG description, OG type, Twitter card, Twitter creator. And a lot of this is pulling information from our basically Gatsby-config file. So this site.sitemetadata.author. If we came back over here to Gatsby-config.js, you would see this is our site basically. Then this is our site metadata. And then this is our author. So you could go ahead and add more variables in here if you wanted and use those to populate the content here. So we're also setting our Twitter title and then our Twitter description. Now, if we come on down here, this is just SEO default props. Lang is English. Meta, we'll load the array. And then description, it's just a string. Empty string right there, okay. And then this is where we set the prop type. So this is actually where we're saying this is an array. Language, it's a string. Description is a string. And then the title here is a string. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back over to what we've got here and kind of just look at the code, see what that looks like. So this is all, well, minified, I should say. All right, elements, let's look at it this way. So give us a nice breakdown. So you can see all of the meta tags that are already in here. The viewport's already in here. The title's already here. Home, photographer, portfolio. So it's already got just a title structure set up, which is convenient. Let's go on down here. Theme color, all of our favicons, icons are all set up. Here we go, description. So this is the description that you saw in that Gatsby-config.js file. This is the OG description, which is just basically the same thing. And then we have our OG type, website, Twitter card, summary, Twitter creator. It just goes on and on and on. So that's everything we just took a look at. All right, so something else we have over here is our image. So this right here, it's importing React, import use static query, GraphQL from Gatsby, and then import image from Gatsby Image. So what this is going to do, I believe, is it's going to help us load all of these images with lazy loading. So you can read this right up here. This component is built using Gatsby Image to automatically serve optimized images with lazy loading and reduced file sizes. The image is loaded using a use static query, which allows us to load the image from directly within this component rather than having to pass the image data down from pages. So for more information, you can go ahead and look at the docs right there. So let's take a quick look at something on the Gatsby website. If we go over here and go to plugins, so I think there's a responsive images plugin. So Gatsby Image. So this is really what we're using right here. So it says, note, Gatsby Image is not a drop-in replacement for image. It's optimized for fixed width height images and images that stretch the full width of a container. Some ways you can use image. Some ways you can use image won't work with Gatsby Image. Okay, so there's a problem. You can read the problem, and this is the solution that they propose. You can install that, but it looks like it's already installed. So these are some other things that it will need: the Gatsby Transformer Sharp and plugin Sharp plugins. There's a lot of plugins words there, but let's go ahead and look at our Gatsby Config.js real quick, and you'll see some plugins we're using already. Just from the default new Gatsby project, we have React Helmet, which we kind of just took a look at with the SEO. We have Resolve Gatsby source file system, options, images, path name. Okay, here is our Gatsby Transformer Sharp. Here is our Gatsby plugin Sharp, and then we're resolving Gatsby plugin manifest. Options, Gatsby starter default, short name starter, start URL, /, and so on. So display the minimal UI, and then we have our source. So this is the relative path to the root of the site. Source images Gatsby icon. So which is basically that icon. Okay. And then this optional plugin enables progressive web app and offline functionality. To learn more, go to gatsby.dev/offline. And you can turn this on if you want, and that's basically just gonna, like it says, enable progressive web app and offline functionality, which is pretty neat. All right, so one thing that I did really want to go ahead and kind of get started on here is let's set up some Sass. Okay, so if we look at our layout.css right here, this is all in CSS, and it's all the styling that they have for their website. So what I want to do is I want to change this to Sass, and then I also want to go ahead and just bring in our kind of browser reset so that we're just starting from pure scratch. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go over to Gatsby and let's just type in Sass. So using Gatsby and Sass should be pretty simple to set up. npm install save Gatsby plugin -sass. Okay, so pull up the terminal. I'll stop this server. Go ahead and paste that on in and let it run for a moment. All right, now that that's done installing, let me just hide that terminal for a moment there. And let's take a look at our layout.js. So let's see, we're importing our layout.css right here. So let's go ahead and change this to Sass. Whoops. Just like that. And then if we go ahead and start up our server, let's go ahead and write Gatsby develop. All right, give that a moment. Okay, so this failed to load the CSS. Let's just go ahead and kind of comment that out for a moment, and we'll rerun that, or let it finish running, I guess. Looks like it wasn't done. Or did it? Okay. Let's take a look. So this is what we got going on right here. It looks pretty ugly. I think this is just all inline styles here for the most part, because they're styling the components. So let me see, layout, no, not that, layout.js. You can see some of this is using some inline styling right here. That's fine. And then the header was also using some inline styling right here. So that's where you're seeing all of this. But let's go ahead and go back to our layout.js, uncomment that out, but change this to Sass, and then save. When we go back to our web, let's see what's going on here. You may need an appropriate loader to handle this file type. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and make sure we delete all of this. So we'll find all, replace all, just so it's actually the syntax is right. Find all, replace all, and then find all, replace all. Okay, save that. So we're still getting an issue here? No, we're not. Okay, so that's being loaded in properly, it looks like. Or is it? I don't know. Module parse failed. Unexpected token. Let's close that out and try and rerun this. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's go ahead and look this up and see what is going on. Or let's see if there's anything else we're actually supposed to do. Include... Oh, tell me I forgot to do that. Wow. All right. Let's go to our plugins here. Yup. And we'll just put this... Well, we'll just put it right at the top. That should be fine. I'm just going to use the backtick to keep the same formatting. And let's kind of restart this. And hope that it loads properly and I'm not missing anything else. No. Okay. This looks different. Does it? With an error. Okay. Error in source components layout.sass. Error cannot find module node.sass. Okay, what else do we have to do? Write your style sheets as .sass or .css files and require or import them as normal. Okay, so I did already do that. We already installed this. We included the plugin. What else could we possibly do? Gatsby plugin Sass. Maybe try and run npm install again. Okay, so it's saying it requires npm warn Gatsby plugin Sass requires peer of node Sass, but none is installed. You must install per dependencies yourself. So let's look this thing up. Okay, node Sass. Sure, you can use that. .412. Alright, let's just go ahead and install this. npm install node Sass. Probably should have taken care of these warnings earlier and we wouldn't have run into this, but you must forgive me, it's my first time as well. Well, assuming it's your first time too. Alright, let's look at this. TypeScript now. npm install TypeScript. Yep. Let's do this. Nope. Let's not do that. npm. Okay. What else we got? Alright, so I'm not sure why that is running, or not running, I should say. Let's go ahead and just open up the terminal, paste that in and see if... Nope. How about sudo? Okay, that looked like it may have worked now. Let's clear everything and try and run Gatsby Develop and cross your fingers now that this will actually load. Nope, it has failed. Alright, why has it failed? Failed to load. It looks like it's just a invalid CSS after. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. At least it is just a Sass or CSS just issue here. So line 596, column 5. Line 596, column 5. Okay. So let's just remove that extra space and save. And let's see. That is a lot of fonts in that lineup. Okay. Gatsby Develop. No. Okay. What other issues might we be facing here? Illegal nesting. Line 234, column 5. Okay. 234. 34 column. So it's just more of this font stuff. Alright. Let's see if there's any other font families before we try and run it again. Font family. Yup. There we go. Here's another one. Alright. Font family. Here's another one. Okay. Font family. I don't even know why I'm wasting time doing this because we're going to delete this anyways, but let's just make sure what we got is going to work. That's good. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Maybe now this will work. It looks like it's working now. Gatsby Develop. Beautiful. Okay, now let's jump back over to our web page. Awesome. All right, there we go. So it is finally working. That was much, well, I don't want to say difficult, but that was not as I expected that would go. But anyways, you guys have a good idea of what to do here if you're running into issues. All right, so let's go ahead and now that this is done, let's delete all of this. Okay, now we're back to nothing here. And then I'm going to go to GitHub and go to, am I not signed in? Let me sign in. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see if we can get to our gist. I have one here. Normalized.sass. So I'm just going to copy everything in here. Good. Let's jump back over to our project and paste that on in. And let's take a look at everything here. Looks pretty normal right there. So what they had in there initially was kind of just this sort of normalized where they were setting up some default things. It looks like I'm basically setting the font family to a sans serif font in the very beginning here. But let's see what happens if we change it to a serif font. It should update immediately. There we go, right back to a serif font. Okay, cool. All right, so now we successfully have our Sass working, so we can write in Sass instead of doing styled components. Let's see if there's anything else we want to do real quick. We can probably just go ahead and cut. Let's just cut this page. I don't want the second page. I don't even think we're going to have more than one page. However, we can keep a 404 for now. Okay. Refresh. Go to second page. Well, there is no second page, so what's going on? Guess it doesn't automatically direct you to the 404. No. Okay, it kind of does, but that's not stopped properly. Anyways, let's SEO is good. This is good. That's good. Okay, so we can go ahead and kind of take most of this away. So I'm going to get rid of, if we look at what we've got here, this is a styled component. All right. So let's just delete this one line here. So what that leaves us with is, well, this is just a wrapper, honestly. But here's our main, and then here's our footer. I don't really want this wrapper, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Delete the other half of that div. Then here we have our footer. I don't really want that footer right now. Let's go ahead and delete that. And then now we have our header site title, data site dot site metadata. That's a tongue twister. All right. Anyways, here's our main. What I would like to do is quickly set up a footer component. And then let's grab this and duplicate this and do footer.js. All right. Const, we'll say footer. Okay, and then we can cut all of this. We don't need any of that right there. But we can say just the actual HTML footer, not fodder. Footer. And in here we'll say footer. Okay, header prop types. This would be footer prop types, site.title. Yeah, but I don't even think we need this. Let's just cut that for now and see if this works. No. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I don't think we're importing this. And let's import this. Footer and footer. 2 problems, 2 warnings. Use, yes, link is defined but never used. Okay, and prop types is defined but never used. Okay. Let's just pull that out and pull that out. These are not serious errors, but we can pull those out right now. And we should get rid of those problems. It's compiling, and it's successfully compiled. And if we come back out here, now you'll see footer. And I think that's pretty much everything we had. Let's just kind of go ahead and continue wiping some of this out before we go ahead and end this video, just so we can start from scratch when we actually go and develop this. So this is our header. Again, we don't need any of this at the moment. I'll leave our site title in there for now. Why did that? Okay. And we'll close this. Site title. We'll leave those in, and then we can get rid of link because we're not using that anymore. Okay, save. 1 problem warning. React is defined but never used. So let's just go ahead and remove that. Or let's not go ahead and remove that. Whoops. This set state. All right, let's undo some of that here. What did I screw up? I don't like this formatting. It takes up so much space. Site title. Okay, h1 div. Okay. Alright, well, that's reduced. Let me have this up here. So let's see where this background is coming from. Is it coming from here? No. Here's a README. I'm not really sure where that's coming from right now. Let's not waste too much time on it. Cool, pink. Just make this black. Remove the margin. I want margin. Okay, alright, that's fine. Alright, now we can remove link because we're not using it. Okay, here's our header, here's our body, footer. Now the only thing we have left here is the layout. Main. Okay, so that means that's being pulled from our... we'll leave that alone, we'll leave this alone. I'll leave that alone for now. And then in our pages, you can see the layout. So we're using the layout. We're pulling in the SEO right here. That's the title we're giving it. It says hi. Let's just change this to hello world. Let's cut the link because we're not going to use the link. Let's cut this, and this. Cut that div. Cut this link. Okay, and then here's our image. So it should say hello world, and then it should have our image there. Let's take a look. Hello world, and there's our image without things selected. And now if we went to image, I'll just show you how this is going to work. If we changed this fallback here, or placeholder image, if you will, to, let's just do Gatsby icon. Now it's changed to that icon that we saw before. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of just placeholder. Change that for now. So there's not going to be anything there. Nothing's going to load. But I would like to just cut this and reduce this down even more. Okay. And then we have our 404. Layout, SEO, title, H1, and paragraph. Okay. Let's see what loads up there. Okay, I guess we shouldn't remove that then. Or it's a little too late for that. Image. We'll just do this for now. Icon. Okay, so now this should load again, right? Yep, there we go. Alright, that was pretty cool though. You saw that kind of... Alright, so I think that's it now. Let's just check that 404 page. Cool. Alright, there's our header, body, and footer. So that's all I can think of at the moment. So now I think we're actually ready to go ahead and next week start working on this. So we have our Sass set up. This is just a one pager, so we can just use our single Sass file here to go ahead and finish adding everything in after that. So let's just go up to the top and say, whoops, normalize. And then we'll say site styles, and that's just prep for next week. And I think we're good. Alright guys, that's it. We successfully set up our project, took a look at the structure, got rid of all of their code, well, most of their code, and then we got Sass installed with, some issues in the beginning, but we got it installed. We got to have a little fun troubleshooting that, if you want to call it fun, but hey, whatever. Next week, we're going to pick back up on this series, and we're actually going to start coding out some of this homepage. So I want to make a goal to get the main piece at the top done, and then we can jump into adding in all of the images. Since they already have implemented that plugin for the images, we really just need to go ahead and tweak it a little bit. So anyways guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up if it helped you, and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you like the content that I'm creating on this channel, head on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/ZacharyRNewton, where you can help support this channel and help me create better videos every week. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.